5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, where we look back on the news and events for the week ending on Friday, February 3rd. I'm your host, Paige Ray. Our top story over the weekend, a Pike County tradition returned. I'm talking about the 2023 Pike Piddler Storytelling Festival. It was a chance for traditional storytelling methods to be passed down to old and new audiences alike, and to show there's more to storytelling than meets the eye. Belle Johnson has that story.
On Saturday, the Brundage Historical Society presented the Pike Piddler Storytelling Festival. The event featured 3 professional storytellers who each told their tales in their own way.
This is a storytelling festival, and so we have an audience of people who come to listen, and then there are 3 of us who are the storytellers.
We just all have our signature styles. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, where this is how gentlemen dress. Somebody said, "I like your costume." And I said, "This ain't no costume. In Charleston, South Carolina, if you want to be taken seriously, you dress like a clown."
This is the 16th year the festival has been put on. While people may think they know what storytelling is, this type of storytelling is not as simple as reading a book to someone.
People who don't know what storytelling is think that maybe we're going to read Little Red Riding Hood to the audience, but that's not what we're going to do.
The festival featured performances by Donald Davis, Tim Lowry, and Bill Lepp. When asked what their favorite stories were, each had a different answer.
I like a little bit of folk, a little bit of history, a little bit of personal narrative. Every once in a while I throw in a literary classic.
I do have a favorite story. I actually have several favorite stories.
Oh, no, never a favorite story, because every audience is different.
Davis said he has 2 variables to consider when deciding what story to tell.
We're all going to look at that audience and say, wonder what would be the right thing to tell right now. And we're also dealing with like time, because we have stories of all kinds of lengths.
Lowry told about his childhood and his dream of being in the circus. While Lowry loves what he does, he hopes one day to bring his act to the big top in the return of the Ringling Brothers Circus.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I always wake up every morning and tell God, I really want to be willing to do anything you would have me do, but I also want you to know I really love what I'm doing right now.
The Pike Piddler Storytelling Festival will return in January of 2024.
If you've never been to storytelling before, I promise you you're going to have a good time. If you have been, you already know that it is a good time.
Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
While some Troy residents listened to traditional storytelling, others heard from a literal out-of-this-world speaker. Saturday, Kappa Alpha Psi held its 3rd annual scholarship breakfast, where Dr. Bernard Harris, the first African-American astronaut to ever perform a spacewalk, spoke to the crowd. Kaylee Wright takes us there.
He's a retired NASA astronaut.
The Brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity were proud to welcome a fellow alum, Dr. Bernard Harris, who is a retired NASA astronaut and the first African American to perform a spacewalk.
The thing that surprised me about going into space, I think, was the view of the Earth on the backdrop of the sea of stars, because you can see it so clearly. And I realized in that moment that this didn't just happen, that there is a purpose, and in that purpose is a purpose for myself.
And he also explains that we are infinite beings with infinite possibilities, and he strives to inspire Black youth to find their purpose despite harmful stereotypes.
It's a way in which to uplift the community and uplift individuals so that they can put those stereotypes aside and to realize that they have multi-potential, that they can do anything in life.
Dr. Harris also explained how his fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, is helping high school students make their dreams into a reality.
Emphasize how important education is, particularly STEM education. And then we also have community events like the event here in Troy, where we're giving out scholarships to students and to organizations, in this case, 3 high schools.
6 students from Charles Henderson High School, Pike County High School, and Goshen High will each receive a $1,000 scholarship. In other news, history has been made here at TrojanVision. For the first time ever, TrojanVision now offers additional resources for hearing impaired viewers. Jamison Fowler explains.
If you have a certain feature set on your TV, you may notice something different about our broadcast.
We now offer closed captioning on TrojanVision, allowing our hearing impaired and hard of hearing individuals to be able to use closed captioning on their televisions to be able to experience what we offer on our channel.
The move comes after years of efforts to bring in new technology.
The first thoughts of trying to get this in place happened probably 4 or 5 years ago. It has been a multi-year process in finding the right piece of equipment that could handle the closed captioning.
The technology that now allows words to appear on your screen isn't simple. It relies on advanced artificial intelligence to make the closed captioning possible.
A computer basically uses voice recognition technology and is putting the words that are coming out of whoever's on screen's mouth and putting it on the screen there for us.
TrojanVision's closed captioning marks the beginning of potential new changes that could be coming in the future.
Eventually, we're going to be able to start sending high quality signal to people's homes. And this is part of that step. The technology that's in place for that is what allowed us to be able to put this equipment in line to offer the closed captioning for folks at home.
It's a change that Taylor hopes will show TrojanVision's dedication to staying on the level of commercial television stations.
We strive to get the technology to be where it needs to be so it's equal to what you can see anywhere else out there.
Although no date for a complete HD switch has been announced, TrojanVision hopes to make the switch by the end of 2023. Jamison Fowler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Several people were involved with this switch, including broadcast engineers and programmers, all of whom worked around the clock to make this happen. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we're gearing up for another busy but exciting weekend here on Troy's campus. We'll have the details. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. Got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it. If I give my heart to
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back. Troy University will start the month of February with a weekend full of lessons in leadership, honoring a civil rights icon born right here in Pike County. Camille Coney gives us a preview.
Leadership Conference will aim to educate and create future leaders.
The conference started in like 2001 from the mind and thought process of a late great Lamar P. Higgins, who was a board of trustee members here at Troy. And so he got together with a few people amongst the university, the city of Troy, and also the county of bringing a leadership conference to Troy during African American History Month. And his thought process was that he wanted to bring in dynamic people who were speakers, who were influential to celebrate African American History Month, to make a change and allow people to grow here in the Pike County area.
During the event, students can hear and learn from area leaders who strive to make a positive impact on their community.
Dr. Martin Luther King said that until you walk a mile in a man's shoe, you don't know what that man has come through. So like knowing somebody else's experiences and how what they've gone through has affected them, you can learn from.
This year's conference will feature 2 keynote speakers, Larry D. Thornton Sr. and Pastor Darrell Caldwell. According to Williams, the conference is a chance to not only develop business skills and ideas, but also connect and develop relationships with people around us.
We do learn from other people, and so I think outside of race, that there's lessons of leadership that we can learn here, lessons of culture, lessons of knowing how we can better become one together and become one great American society.
This year's leadership conference begins Friday night at 6:30. Camille Coney, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Thanks, Camille. Tuesday morning, the Sorrel 360 Center provided free breakfast and a raffle to students passing through John Robert Lewis Hall on their way to class. It was an avenue to tell students about all of the services that Sorrel 360 offers. Emma Ellis has more.
The Sorrel 360 Center is a program within the Sorrel College of Business that aims to aid students in honing their soft skills, building business relationships, and promoting personal wellness. But that's not all they do.
The Sorrel 360 Center is for professional life. We essentially do all career services for college business students. We offer mock job interviews, we offer career coaching, resume review, 360 success plan, basically anything that you can think of that's dealing with professional life, it comes through our office for the College of Business.
The Sorrel 360 Center aims to promote a holistic professional development in order to prepare students for life after college.
Your time on Troy's campus is going to be about 4 years, and then you have the next phase of life. And we're here to help make sure that next phase of life, that transition time from college to career, is as smooth as possible. Everybody needs a little assistance with their career planning. Everybody needs a little assistance with that next step in life. And so we're here to help bridge that gap and make it as smooth as possible.
It is no secret that college students are very busy and may often forget to eat breakfast in the morning. That's why the Sorrel 360 Center decided to set up a table in John Robert Lewis Hall to provide an avenue to tell students about the services they provide.
Everybody loves food, especially breakfast for early mornings. So we were able to partner with Dunkin' Donuts here in Troy to bring students free food. We got donuts, coffee, juices, and essentially students can come by, pick up some free breakfast.
Not only did they provide free breakfast for students, but they're also offering a raffle basket, and there is only one condition to enter the raffle.
All students have to do is sign up for one meeting this semester with our office, and they're entered into the raffle.
Emma Ellis, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Sorrel 360 Center holds many events throughout the semester in an effort to aid students professionally. An organization on campus gives students the opportunity for their art to live forever in Troy history. Simon Schussler shows us how.
Students were able to paint with a purpose this afternoon on the quad as one organization allowed their paintings to be marked forever in history for just $1.
Well, we're holding a little fundraising event to raise some money for the literary journal, the Rubicon, and it's just $1 to paint. And when it's finished, it's just going to be featured on the back of the 2023 issue.
Participants were able to select one section of what will soon be the back of the 2023 Rubicon to paint, and they were allowed to get as creative as they wanted to make the Rubicon reflect the student body as much as possible. From bow ties to a beautiful mountain landscape, there was no shortage of ideas painted onto the canvas. Although the Rubicon may be a literary journal, it is no stranger to other forms of media such as art.
And, it's run by students, and it's for students. It's free to send in your work. You can send in like written work, photography, or art.
Now, although entries for this year's edition just recently closed, to stay up to date on the Rubicon and to find out when entries open for next year, you can visit at the Troy U Rubicon on Instagram. Simon Schussler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The next edition of the Rubicon is expected to release sometime during the fall semester. We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll see how students are recognizing the importance of Black History Month. That's coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Tuesday, Chi Omega worked to make a kid's wish come true during its Pi Chi O fundraiser event. Belle Johnson has the story.
On Tuesday, Chi Omega held their Pi Chi O event for their Wish Week fundraiser. The proceeds raised from the fundraiser will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
We do this every semester. It's our Make-A-Wish week, and we raise money for Make-A-Wish Alabama. So this is one of our fundraisers.
The Pi Chi O event is only one of the events Chi O is holding to raise money. Other events, including Spirit Nights and a bake sale, will be held throughout the rest of the week.
All week we raise money through stars. You adopt a star, and that raises money for us. We're having a bake sale, and then we have Spirit Nights at Hooks, and I think the Cookie Company is later today. So stuff like that. And then our biggest event of the week is on Thursday. It's our kickball tournament.
The Hook Spirit Night will be on Wednesday from 5 to 7, and the kickball tournament will be on Thursday from 4 to 9. Chi O also has a table set up in TC every day this week from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. selling stickers and event tickets.
We are able to send a wish kid on their wish, whatever it is. Last semester we sent a kid to Disney World and Universal. So this time we just raise money throughout the year, and usually at the end of the year we give a wish party.
If you would like to see the full schedule for Chi O's Wish Week, you can follow their Instagram at Chi Omega Troy. Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Thanks, Bill. February is a significant month, not because of Valentine's Day, but because it's Black History Month. One on-campus organization is starting February off strong by hosting a Black History Trivia Night. Emily Clegg takes us there.
On Wednesday evening, Troy University's UAC kicked off Black History Month with a night full of trivia.
Tonight's trivia night is about celebrating Black History Month, so we're going to play a few Kahoot games. We have prizes available to see how much people really know about Black history.
Participants in the trivia games got to show off their Black history knowledge through many different categories.
So for the trivia night tonight, we had some general Black history questions as well as Black culture questions and Black TV and show questions.
Students that came out to Wednesday night's events not only got the chance to play in a fun game of trivia, but also had the opportunity to expand their knowledge on Black History Month.
I think it's important for everybody to be educated about Black History Month because a lot of us don't realize that everyday life has been impacted by Black people. It's of course, we know the history book moments, but we don't know about music, regular TV shows, why we do what we do. So that's why events like this are important, and learning about our history is important.
Questions from the night ranged in difficulty, from who gave the I Had a Dream speech to who was the first African American elected to Texas Senate. Regardless, though, it's safe to say that everyone who came to the event learned something new about Black history. Emily Clegg, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's time now for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn the latest sports news, plus what event Troy University is gearing up for this weekend. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire before leaving. Drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories, unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Welcome back. It was a big week in Trojan sports. We first start with Troy junior Jemiah Hollings. Hollings was named the Sun Belt Conference Women's Basketball Player of the Week after posting a pair of double-doubles last week and guiding the Trojans back to the top of the league standings. She's the second Trojan in the program's D1 history to score 20-plus points and pull down 20-plus rebounds in a game. She scored 23 points and grabbed 20 rebounds in Troy's 7th straight win over rival South Alabama, and followed with 19 points and 10 rebounds in a 23-point victory over Georgia Southern. Hollings says she was glad to help and contribute to that Trojan win. Up next, Hollings and the Trojans travel to San Marcos to take on Texas State. That game was set for Thursday night. We'll have more next week. Earlier this week, Troy University Athletics recognized and participated in National Signing Day for the Trojan football team. Coach John Summerall traveled to 32 high schools across the state, getting ready to add new members to the Sun Belt Championship team. 7 new players have officially signed with Troy football and will be joining the team this summer. February will be considered a dead period for the Trojans, meaning the recruiting period has closed. Summerall telling people he's excited to get back with the team to prepare for the upcoming season this fall with new and returning players. Of course, fans will get their chance to see the new Trojans in action this fall. Troy starts the season at home against Stephen F. Austin on September 2nd. And staying with sports news, the ice is starting to melt and the showers are beginning to fall, which only means one thing: softball season is just around the corner. As we close in on the softball season, one Trojan in particular is getting some love. That's second baseman Kelly Horn. Horn was awarded the Sun Belt Preseason Player of the Year award, the first Trojan softball player to receive that award in the history of the program. Horn is a top 10 second baseman in the country, according to D1 softball and extra innings softball. The senior from Tallahassee led the Trojans in batting average, home runs, RBIs, on-base percentage, and walks last season. The Trojans will open their season February 10th through 12th at the annual Trojan Classic at the Troy Softball Complex. Over the weekend, people from all across Alabama will gather for the 2023 Congressman John Lewis Leadership Conference. We talked about this earlier in our broadcast. It's an event that aims to create future leaders. We'll learn even more about this year's event in this edition of Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to another edition of Trojan Talk. I'm Paige Ray. Today we have Director of Student Involvement, Barbara Patterson. Barbara, thank you so much for joining us.
Paige, I'm delighted to be here today.
Yes, so today we're talking about campus involvement, something that, correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes gets overlooked when we start specifically the spring semester. Is that
really is correct, because everybody assumes everybody's already gotten active and involved. But you know, there's always that group of students who say, I want to take my first semester, concentrate solely on academics, and once I get that under my belt, then I'll get involved. And so we want to make sure that those students who made a pledge, I'll get involved my second semester, do get involved their second semester.
Yes, that they're true to their word.
Absolutely.
So walk me through, I know there are a ton, but what kind of organizations does Troy offer our students?
Well, there are many different types of organizations. We have our religious organizations. We have fraternities and sororities and Greek life. We have the departmental and professional organizations that are the organizations that have to do with their major. We have service organizations, Habitat for Humanity, Circle K, those types of organizations that are out there doing community service. We have honor societies. Now, most of the honor societies, that's a membership is by invitation. But for those students who did concentrate on their grades, they should be looking for honor society invitations this semester, because many of our honor societies will be emailing students who are eligible. So there's all different types of organizations, and we just really encourage our students to pick one or two and just start going to the meetings.
Yes, just jump right in, feet first, right?
Absolutely. Most student organizations like special interest, such as our International Student Cultural Organization, the organizations such as the religious organizations, service organizations, they're thrilled for you to walk through the door. I mean, they just want you to come on and just don't wait for an invitation. Just show up when they, when they're having their meetings, and they'll be thrilled to include you in the group. You don't have to worry about, did I miss the first meeting of the semester? That's no big deal. Fraternities and sororities, Greek life, they are having their recruitments starting. Fraternity recruitment starts this week.
Oh, wow.
And it started last night. The sorority recruitment is beginning, it's beginning really on Thursday with an open house. And then our MPHC convocation is going to have a Sunday convocation. So all of that is starting up.
That's perfect. And I know it's easy to forget that there are groups that you can join because the fall has so much. You come and it's just in your face, and here's who we are, and this is what we do. And the spring is a little more subtle. But if a student wanted to go and find what groups are out there, how should they do that? Is there a specific page?
Well, one of the things is, of course, there is a web page on troy.edu that has all the different types of organizations, and you can search by the different types of organizations. I would really encourage them just to look for signs and posters.
Okay.
And the student involvement has social media on Instagram. We are always reposting what other groups are doing. And tomorrow night, we do have in the Barnes & Noble parking lot a student browse, and so they can come out to that student browse and meet student organizations and go from there.
I love that. Okay, and finally, some advice for maybe that student or a parent of a student that knows their student is shy, or they're nervous and they need a little extra encouragement. What would you say to that person?
One, I would say, find a friend who will go with you. Just even if that friend is not interested, let's say you want to go to the Circle K meeting, find a friend who say, come on, just go with me this first time. And then the second thing I would say is that we all, even at my age, need to learn how to do something new. It's a great skill to learn, to walk into a room where there's very few people that you know. It's okay, you'll survive it. You survived first grade, you survived the first day of middle school, you survived the first day of high school, you survived the first day of college. You'll survive walking into a new student organization and meeting new people. You can do it. Just try to do something new, and that's what we really encourage.
Barbara, thank you so much for that advice, and of course, thank you for being here. You always give such good wisdom and advice for our students, and we appreciate it.
I certainly appreciate you having me, and please let students know that they can come by anytime our office, Trojan Center 215. There's plenty of people in there who'll help you find a place.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Barbara, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday. You can also visit us anytime on the Troy TrojanVision News blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision. There you can see online content from Troy TrojanVision News. We hope you enjoyed this edition of the week that was. Until next time, have a good week.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.